Hey, you guys. Give me a second. Okay. So, hey. So, okay. So you guys saw the other video. If you haven't, that's more about um the topic of religion and all that good stuff. Um, I think it'll really shock some of you because I am no longer a Christian and I get somewhat in depth. I went. I talked about so much in that video. Just go check it out. It's right before this one. So I know you guys wonder so much about this, and I am going to be honest. Um, I'm not perfect. I'm learning to not expect perfection from myself, and not to even put that kind of pressure on myself. Because life is so much more free when you don't allow yourself to interfere with yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, you guys are getting it. Um, so, I know you guys are wondering about weight. You guys know that I had gastric sleeve 2 years ago. Um, Actually, we are embarking on, is it 2 years? 3 years? I don't know. December 14th, 2012. That's when I had it. You guys know I was a self-pay patient, so I went to Mexico and logged and shared all of my experiences, um, from the travel and the plane ride over there, and um, transportation from there, from the airport to my suite that was in the Marriott, um, the doctor, everything like that. So if you guys don't know, because I had people follow me for different reasons and stuff. So, and some people follow me from the start, just no matter what my journey through life was, they were there, and I so appreciate you guys. Um, it just makes you feel like you have love extended beyond, where you can just simply reach, that distance. Um, what is it? What else? I just I'm just gonna be straightforward, honest. I'm gonna tell you guys my shortcomings. I'm gonna tell you guys the struggles that I've been through. I'm gonna tell you guys things I need to still improve on, changes I've made, changes that I haven't made, all of that. Okay, so that's what this video is gonna be about. If you want to know all about spiritual issues or religion issues and why I'm actually not a Christian anymore, then look at the video right before this. Okay, so, alright, so, let's talk. Let's really talk. So, I've gained quite a bit of weight back. Am I mad at myself or disappointed? Yeah, I'm disappointed. No, I'm not going to get on here and, tell you it's okay though, because, see, it's not about how you look, it's about your health. And I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to sit on here and tell you that when I look in the mirror sometimes and look at how my clothes fit in me and stuff like that, I don't get like I don't get disgusted from myself, letting myself down, letting disgusted from letting other people down that had the same struggles and was rooting for me. Um, the disgust that I have sometimes in knowing that a lot of people was cheering me on, disgusted sometimes at the fact that I know that any weight gain back will be, a highlight of some people's day. I mean, that will totally make their entire 30 days in the month. That would just blow their mind. They would be doing like dances in the street and stuff like that, praise dances and stuff, or those miming dances that they be doing in church. Anyway, so yeah, I feel that way. I feel that way sometimes because guess what? That's real life. I tell myself, shake it off. You already did it. Now all you got to do is just continue to do as the best you can and push yourself and understand that progression doesn't come with comfort. It don't go hand in hand. Just accept it. Accept that if you are going to have any kind of growth, any kind of enlightenment, elevation, spiritually or physically or even metaphorically, you're going to have to understand that those things are going to take you out of your comfort zone. Those things are not going to feel good. It's not going to be such a great, yes, let's do this. You're not going to be enthusiastic about it. That's just reality. It's going to come with growing pains. But I just, okay, it's done. What can we do from this point? That's just it. I mean, you can't change what you did 24 hours ago. You can't change what you did 2 weeks ago. You can't change what you did 4 weeks ago. You can't change it. But tomorrow, the next 24 hours, you can change. You can restart. You can do it all over again in a whole different way. So, I have made some changes. I've done them for at least a month now. The reality is the surgery is successful. You guys know I had gastric sleeve. The surgery is successful. But what separates me from the people that have continued to lose and got to what they call their goal weight, the difference between them and myself is I was looking at it from just weight loss standpoint. Yes, I did address, even in videos and in my real everyday life, I did address some issues or begin to address some issues, but a lot of things came out when I couldn't use my crutch anymore to the level that I used to, and my crutch being overeating. So I couldn't use it to the level that gave me mental fulfillment. It fulfilled my body. I felt full in a sense, but it didn't mentally fulfill me. So what I what I had when that was taken away from me, then things started coming out, things that I was submerging with overeating, things that I was using that as my drug of choice. That's what gave me comfort, but it was a lie. So when I couldn't use that any longer, things started coming out. I started realizing things. I started remembering things that I had submerged so much that I didn't even, like in the past 30 years, haven't even thought of. And believe it or not, food has that much power. It has the capacity or the ability to have that much power, but we have to understand that we give it the power. It can't even breathe new life unless we breathe the life into it. So yeah, so I started feeling things I didn't want to feel and remembering things that I didn't want to feel and remember. And I'm talking about very emotional things. Things that evidently was so traumatic for me that I blocked them out. My mind automatically couldn't handle it and basically erased it from my thought process. I mean, can you imagine something or some things that bad that you don't even have the ability to say that you want to? You don't even have the choice of whether you want to wipe it out your mind or not. Your mind automatically knows it can't handle it, so it shuts it down, tosses it, control alt delete it from your memory. That's just very, very powerful. That's very powerful. And it's a couple of things that I am now discovering went that way in my life. So in that came deep depression, suicidal thoughts. Yes, I told you it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty, the things I'm going to share, and I'm sure that it's going to be pleasing to some to hear it, and it's going to be disheartening for others to hear it, because they can maybe relate to the story, or they know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that went through things similar. So I went through suicidal thoughts, and this is all over food. Yes. Now I know you can't relate to that because maybe you've used another crutch in life. I used a different one. Doesn't make it better or worse. It's just different. That's all it is. It's just different. And I do understand that when things are different for us, it's hard for us to relate to anything other than that. So I do understand that, we have a tendency to carry that mindset. So I understand that, but I literally, it almost altered my mindset. Things that made me happy in life, I noticed that food or overindulging in it made those times much happier. So when I would alleviate the food or attempt to alleviate the food, then it wouldn't have the same outcome. So it was no longer a ecstatic moment for me. It became mediocre. So food for me enriched my life. It's funny because something can be so bipolar in that way of thinking. Something like what I just said, and then if you think about it, it can enrich your life, me overindulging in my mindset, but it can decrease my life as far as health and life expectancy and all of those things. That's crazy that's like a I never thought about it like that. But yeah, see how things sometimes when you just talk and when you just letting it flow, when you're not worrying about the time or because my time isn't your time. I may see something as not of value, and if it's not of value to me, then therefore time definitely exists, meaning I can feel it going slower and slower because it's not holding my attention. It's not of value to me. I can't relate to it. But if something speaks to your spirit, maybe it has a way to open your third eye and your spiritual eye, whatever you want to label it. Time tends to go past and you not notice it as much. So when I let things flow like that, sometimes when I'm talking, because I'm speaking from the truest part of, or the purest part of me, because I'm speaking from that place, sometimes lessons will be said to myself, or confirmation in my words, or my choosing of words can come as confirmation to me, to my own self. So I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. But anyway, yeah. So I'm still struggling with some things. Um, the thing is, people will ask, how can you gain weight and you had weight loss surgery? Well, it's ways to get around it. Whenever you're addicted to anything, you're going to try to find ways to get around it. You're going to try to find wiggle room. You're going, even if it's nobody looking but yourself. We can, like I said, we breathe life into things. We give it the power. So when you think that you are powerless to something, when you think you're powerless to something, it can tend to like take over. You understand what I'm saying? So it goes from not existing to being the dominant factor in your life. So it was ways to get around it. Eating quite often. See, the weight loss surgery does not control your mouth. It doesn't control your mind. It doesn't control your tactics. All it controls is the portion that you can put in your mouth while you're sitting there at that table or on that couch at that very moment. So it's like it doesn't have how can I put it? I'm trying to explain myself so that all of you will really feel, not just hear me, but really feel what I'm saying. It's just I started, like I said, I was able to eat more often, even though yes, it stops me from eating what I'm eating at that moment, meaning that it will tell me, hey, you can't put no more in or you're gonna get sick. You understand? But it doesn't control how often I go back to attempt to eat that. Do you understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, your body still recognizes that you ate that whole plate. It don't matter if it took you 12 times to attempt it, but at the end of the day, you still ate that whole plate. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what weight loss surgery does. That's what weight loss surgery, what that eggs that I ate. Do you see? So that was part of the wiggle room, because I was not trying to feed my body. My body was, see, and I know these things now, and I recognize these things now, and I see them as mistakes, and I also see them, see why the thought behind why I did it, or why I made that decision. So I would literally, I was trying to feed the head hunger. I was trying to feed submerging those feelings down. I was trying to feed that need to eat, that desire to eat, to cover emotions or feelings or to make me feel better. You understand what I'm saying? So since I was using food for those reasons, no matter if you have surgery or not, will never change unless you begin to go through the growing pains, which means, yes, through pain comes new life. Yes, it's going to hurt like a dickens. But guess what? Once it's over, and once you've made it over, once you've ascended, it's pure bliss. You understand what I'm saying? So I know where my errors were. In fact, I knew them when I was doing it. I was very much aware of what I was doing, because see, what good is lying to yourself when you know the real truth? Just doesn't make sense. That's insane. So there's no need. I'm not talking to others. I'm talking within. So there's no need to lie to myself. I knew what I was doing when I did it. But I use that as I have used all my life, and I use that as a coping mechanism, because some parts and sometimes of these 4 months, you guys, that I've been gone, I have felt like, literally, once I started uncovering issues and stuff that I had with my own self, and have had things said and done to me and all kinds of stuff, once I started doing that, you guys, it changed everything. I literally, sometimes during this hiatus, I would say, I felt like giving up. I felt like, I'm halfway through my life. I'm 40 years old almost, and it's not going to get any better. I've reached my peak. This is just reality. So in order for me to continue on, in order for me to press on, as old folks say, I had to constantly think about my children. I had to constantly think about my husband. I had to constantly think about my mother. I even went so far, and I was so desperate, you guys, that I even would picture those people standing over my casket. Yeah, it got that ugly, you guys. So I was reaching for anything that was going to give me, that was going to feed that need for me to get over that hurdle to go on to the next one. So I constantly thought of my children. I constantly thought of, how their lives would be changed forever if they lost me. I started thinking about all those kinds of things, you guys. And when I started thinking like that, you guys, I used whatever I could to get over that hurdle, and I would reach for food, because that is something I know works. So thinking of those things and reaching for whatever got me through, it almost seemed like the only alternative would be to fade away. So that's how weight started packing on. I will give you guys a body shot. I haven't gained back all my weight, okay? I'm not 400 or something pounds, okay? But I have gained back a lot. I had lost at one point, I think 200, at my highest I had lost 214 pounds. So I'm not in the 200 lost pound, but I still can say I've lost, over 100 pounds. So I haven't gained back all my weight. So, and yes, in 2 years or so I've had the surgery. So as of now, I've lost, at my highest, 215 or so, and at my lowest, after having the surgery, after all this time, I've lost 100 or something. But that's still a huge gain for somebody that had just such a drastic surgery, out of desperation. So that's how weight started packing back on. I went to what would feed my depression. I went through what would feed, those suicidal thoughts and all that. Now I will be clear, and I hope I'm making it clear, food isn't the only reason I didn't fade away. I thought about my family. I thought about my children. Nene has buried one parent already, and I couldn't. And Pootie he's just 6.5 years old. You know, my daughter is about to become a nurse. Yes, my daughter is about to become a nurse. She graduates, I think, not the winter semester. She graduates, I think, in March. Yeah. Yep. My baby. But yeah, I'm a mother of a 21-year-old daughter. You know, so they need me. You know, and I need me. And above all of that, the Father isn't done with me yet. How do I know? Because I would have been called home. At 475 pounds walking around, I would have been called home. At the weight I'm walking around now, I would have been called home. Just walking outside the door, any of us can be called home. So that is why the weight gain. I have some things that I've been doing. You guys, I'll tell you guys what I'm studying also, because I want you to look at the other video before I get into other languages and things like that I'm in classes for. I write in other languages now. I can also speak in other languages, not fluently, not as much as I can. I can write fluently in other languages, but again, you got to look at the other video right before this, and then so everybody get caught up, I'll explain that at another time. That way, when y'all see the video, you guys will know what's going on, what I'm talking about. But yeah, so again, I will have a body shot coming up, you guys. I also will share with you some things that I've learned, some things that I hope that you guys would not choose to do. I'm going to do a video, if you guys like, about the pros and the cons of having weight loss surgery. Also a video on, do I think that it was a difference with being a cash paying customer or a patient traveling abroad for medical tourism versus being in my own area locally and having the procedure done that way. So I'll tell you guys the pros and cons of that, if it's any, and do I think that had any play into my weight gain. So alright, you guys, I hope that, I know I was long with it. It's almost a 30-minute video, which is crazy, but hey, 30 minutes, y'all can't give me 30 minutes. I've been gone for 4 months. Y'all can't give me 30 minutes. Shabbat shalom, you guys. Blessings. So it shall be.